were told when we were learning about this game that you can tell the health of a side by the way it moves in the field and by the way the fielders take catches. Now, if you use that as a parameter alone, then you think Indian cricket is in dire straits, even though India has been winning a bit, because never in India's history can I remember so many catches going down. Now, we've got estimates, and estimates can vary depending on whether or not you believe something was a life or it wasn't. But in the last 21 test matches, by one estimate, India have dropped 72 catches. Now, that is an absolutely ridiculous number because it does two or three things. Not only does it allow the opposition to build a partnership, get a second chance when you're not getting one yourself, but it just shoulders drop, and the bowler who's worked very hard to pick up one wicket suddenly sees it going, he starts to get frustrated again and maybe changes the way he's bowling. On the other hand, a great catch taken, a direct hit hitting the stumps just lifts the mood and it turns matches. If you remember the 2015 India-South Africa direct hit, AB de Villiers run out, the game changed. Then look back, England, Alistair Cook put down a third slip of Pankaj Singh, game changed, series changed. Look at Steve Smith, put down more than once in Pune. He got 100 and India lost the test match. Luckily, they were able to come back and win the series. You're seeing so many of those. Look at this series itself. The dropping of Maharaj. He only made 35, but that partnership went on and the total number of runs that got added on thereafter were about 70, which was the difference between the two sides. Amla put down here, he added 50, 60 runs after that. And I think a time has come when you've got to start assessing players by their net contribution. Sometimes we forget about catches that are dropped and how many runs have been scored after that. So you might be scoring 70, 80, but if you're consistently dropping catches that lead to 60, 70 going, your net contribution to your team is only 8 or 10. So I think India need to be much harder on people who are dropping catches. Now, there's a greater worry. Now, of these 72, 36 have come behind the stumps. And we've been talking about this in commentary for a long time. There's a revolving door policy behind the stumps. Somebody that first slip and second slip, then suddenly somebody else is in cover and another person has come into the slips. Who drops most catches? And that's an interesting one because I think he's among the best fielders in the game, and that's Virat Kohli. Because Kohli's mind is so full of so many things. He's a mover on the field. The people who take the best catches are the static players, aren't they? But he's such a mover in the field that one is going to go down in any case. So I think India now need to start working on defining who those three are, and it might seem very facile when I put it that way. That is what they plan anyway, but the chopping and changing isn't helping either. But there has to be a fixed person there, and I don't know how many catches India take in practice. Azharuddin, who hardly ever put down catches, used to tell me never leave the field in the evening without taking 100 catches. He would say you take 100 catches in practice, the 101st in the match sticks. 100 catches, he said, andhera hua to bhi kya hai, pakad ke jana. You take 100 catches and he would go. And so I think there has to be the same importance given to catching as there is to fitness, because this is a ridiculously fit side. I mean, I look at the Jadejas, the Raina has been around for a while, but look at who's been around the mix in the last 4 or 5 years. Jadeja, Raina, Kohli, Manish Pandey, Hardik Pandya, brilliant talent, Ajinkya Rahane. The ground fielding, the athletes are absolutely brilliant, but the catching isn't. And my mind goes back to another era when we used to laugh about some of the players and they would say when the ball was going to the boundary, they would jog behind it and say, "Ji pehle aap." But look at the catchers. Ajit Wadekar, Venkat Raghavan, Abid Ali, Eknath Solkar, brilliant. Tiger Pataudi, brilliant. Then you go to another era. Rahul Dravid and VVS Lakshman, athletes? No. How many did they drop? And Lakshman told me how he changed as a slip catcher after Bob Simpson came and sort of explained the basics of slip catching to them. So I think there's a great emphasis on athletes in this team, and that's not bad at all because this is a brilliant ground fielding side. But I think we need to now have the same emphasis because on catching, because far, far too many catches are going down.